Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Raw review of us, the British Fist.
Catch it.
Get in there, NJ. I am Mr. Parkin, but more importantly, sitting this side of me, it's the one and only NJ.
What's up?
The guy who provides expert analysis throughout all of our reviews.
Thank you.
Anyway, make sure you guys subscribe up above, like this video, and get your comments down below, of course.
Make sure you contact us in the link in the description box below.
Of course. Now, NJ, who the hell did we start off with on this episode of Raw?
None other than Triple H.
Yes, and he makes the announcement that the Raw and SmackDown rosters are going to be coming together for a Raw Super Show on the same week that we get a SmackDown Super Show, he said, for the foreseeable future. Does this mean we may get a brand? We may get rid of the brand split at all?
Well, when I heard Triple H announce it, I just think all we're going to really get, if it is for the future thing, we're not going to get both shows together. What we'll get is probably SmackDown wrestlers appearing on Raw instead of just Raw wrestlers appearing on SmackDown.
I do feel this is a temporary thing, but maybe WWE are testing this just to see if this could work, maybe. Who really knows? We're talking about the actual segment itself. Basically, Triple H comes out, he calls out Nash, but instead gets CM Punk, which I guess is kind of understandable. CM Punk loves interrupting promos, doesn't he?
He does, and I'm thinking, obviously, he's still got this thing going on with Triple H.
Yep.
I know at the moment hearing Nash, but obviously he wants to stand up to the boss, Triple H.
Yeah, and then Nash comes out to his old NWO Wolfpack theme, which I was marking out for back in the old WCW days.
Very good thing.
I thought the interaction between Punk, you can really tell the hatred between Punk and Triple H there, which kind of what led us to later on in the night. But I thought this opening segment was good interaction between all three. I just think it might have dragged on a little bit too long. It kind of lost its point. Maybe they could have got it done a little bit quicker. Any more thoughts on it, you know?
Yeah, it's just that obviously it had a good opener. It set the feeling to it, but I just think it went on too long. I just thought it could have been short, like you said.
Yeah, and basically Nash says that John Laurinaitis has signed him up, even though we already knew he was on a Legends contract with WWE, eh?
Yeah.
And Punk goes on about their acting, saying they're both really good actors and they're both hiding the truth. And then we have what was eventually going to happen, Nash challenging Punk to a match at Night of Champions.
And Triple H accepted it. So we've got a match made now for Night of Champions, and it should be a good match between those two.
Yeah, but the whole truth wasn't unfolded until the end of the show, MJ, was it? There was a bit of a cliffhanger on this one. But shall we go on to the match, first match of the evening, which is between Orton and Dolph Ziggler. Pretty much knew who was going to win this one, didn't we?
It's quite awful because we have, as it's Night of Champions, all championships going on the line. We have Orton, the World Heavyweight Champion, Dolph Ziggler, the United States Champion. I just thought, to be honest, having two champions go against each other when they need to look good, they're both titles on the line at Night of Champions.
This is one of the bad points I feel about this whole Raw SmackDown combining thing. You know, champion versus champion. It's not really very good build going into the pay-per-view. There's not really too much meaning into the match. But the match itself, I thought was actually quite good. You can really tell in this match that Ziggler's a good worker. The match went on for 12.5 minutes. I was actually quite entertained by this match. I really thought it was a good match. Although we all knew Orton was going to win it.
It was a good match. I was entertained by it. I just didn't think it was the right match for the show.
No, neither did I at all. There was an advert during the match as well, which takes so much away from this match. And we had this in 2-3 matches during the whole night, which really kind of annoyed me a lot. I don't know. Good match, but really made the booking there was a bit and the advert was, you know, again made the match a bit in my opinion. But still decent, I guess.
It was just,
what did this segment achieve going into Night Champions?
I couldn't see much coming from it. No,
neither did I. But we then after this get a Cena promo, basically saying that Del Rio was a bad champion. We didn't see Del Rio throughout this whole night, did we?
I was quite disappointed because a backstage promo or a reply to what Cena was saying tonight would have been good, but we didn't get him. Yeah,
but instead we got Mark Henry, didn't we?
That was interesting. I like that.
Yeah, I thought Mark Henry was going to fucking pummel Cena, but no. Sheamus come out, Christian come out.
And it all led up to the feeling that we all knew we were going to get a
tag team match.
Yeah.
You know, why was this segment needed? Could you not just pre-announce the main event segment and use this time to do something else? Maybe hype up to the pay-per-view, have another match in there that might, you know, Alex Riley or some other wrestlers.
Seeing having a promo, I'll give it that. That would have been interesting to have on the show. But then all the others had to come out. I just think, give Cena's promo, finish up that.
At least it set up the main event of the night, which is what the opening segment couldn't really do. I just really think you could have just pre-announced a segment, not pre-announced the main event, not had this segment. Why was it in there? I just don't really know. It just... Again, it was another mess segment for me.
Yeah, it gave us a match. I was saying positive, I could think of it.
Yeah. Next, we get a match which I was actually quite looking forward to. CM Punk versus The Miz. As we know, Miz and R-Truth have been on this kind of Rampage for the last week, going on about WWE and not getting fair opportunities. Well, Miz gets an opportunity at Punk, so there we go, eh?
It was a good lift for him to go against, obviously, someone as high as Punk.
Yeah.
So the match itself, it went on for a good 13 minutes.
Yeah, including adverts.
Including adverts.
Again.
But I think, to be honest, the match itself, it was good for both of them. They were both put on a good match against each other.
Yeah, and it was, and we got some mic time for the Miz as well, which is always good to see. It kind of helps build to the match a little bit. Miz shows his hatred towards CM Punk. The match ended in a DQ when Truth interfered. I'm quite happy with that because that means Punk gets the win via disqualification. No one really gets buried too much.
No.
And then Punk, for some Punk pulls out his Superman hat and then kind of beats down on Miz and Truth until Kevin Nash comes out.
It's good to still continue this whole tease between CM Punk and Kevin Nash.
Yep.
And obviously it made R-Truth and Miz still look strong because they didn't get battered on it. They just stood to the side while Kevin Nash powerbombed Punk.
Yeah, and I think this segment was probably one of the most effective segments of the night, in my opinion. You didn't have the match end clean. You had a good match. It's developed a storyline, developed the feud going into Night of Champions. I just feel, Miz and R-Truth playing a bit of a secondary role, but I can take that, especially if this match is going to be a higher match on the card than Night of Champions.
Yeah, I'd give it that too.
Yeah. And it was really from this point that Raw really, really started to go downhill, in my opinion. I thought the first hour or so of Raw was okay, and then after this it just really got because we started off with Sin Cara versus Jack Swagger, which went on for 3 minutes. And it's more about Ziggler and Swagger and Vicky.
Again.
And it's just like, the match was 3 minutes. It wasn't really even that good. And it just, again, doesn't really accomplish anything going into Night of Champions, does it?
No, it had botches which kind of let the match down.
Yeah.
And the other thing that let it down, it was because there was a lot of involvement with Ziggler and Vicky. And I think that definitely, it wasn't going to be the best matches anyway, but that made it even worse. And I just really weren't interested in this match.
No, neither was I. And Sin Cara gets the win, I guess. And, I guess he's going to have a match against Del Rio, who we didn't fucking see tonight at tomorrow's live SmackDown, so I guess it kind of makes sense, but not really too much there for Night Champions or storyline development. Is it going to be Ryan Ziggler, Swagger versus Ziggler? We don't really know, do we, what's going to happen. We pretty much got the same vibe from this next match, didn't we? Tag team action. Kofi and Evan Bourne, who are called Air Boom now. Air Boom, not exactly the best tag team in my opinion, versus Otunga McGillicuddy in their rematch for the tag team championships. Again, went 3 minutes. What can you do in 3 minutes?
This match, again, I knew it was going to happen, but even this match, tag match that we hoped the best from, this just didn't bring the mood back into Raw.
And it makes you think, what match is going to happen at the pay-per-view? I reckon WWE will put in some random match like Air Boom versus Usos or something, because nothing's going to come of this now, is it? It's been done.
Yeah, the championship's been changed. The rematch was done on Raw, so there's not really much idea they could do for pay-per-view now.
Goes to show how much they care about the tag team division. By the way, Kofi and Evan Bourne won, of course. They were always going to win this match, I guess. Just wonder who they're going to face at the pay-per-view now.
That's the big question. Though.
Yeah, maybe we'll find out in the coming weeks. Also, why did they have this whole Otunga and King shit at the end? I don't get that. Are they setting up an Otunga King feud or something?
No, it weren't needed. It didn't give any directional feeling.
No.
They just stared at each other. It was just nothing there.
It really wasn't a very good segment, which kind of... It was like this next segment. We had Kelly versus Brie Bella, because we haven't seen this match 100 times and it's been shit every time. Again, the match gets 2 minutes. How are we supposed to achieve something from 2 minutes?
And the thing I find really disappointing, for the last 2-3 weeks, Beth Phoenix hasn't been in a match. And I just really thought this was a disappointment.
One of the reasons we really got interested in this Divas division again was because of Natalya and Beth Phoenix, and you're kind of taking them off TV a little bit, and it's just like, can they not play a more prominent role in stuff like this? Because the match was crap. Nothing really much happened. I'm sorry, but Bella wins with the twin magic, and you're just like, why are they winning? I don't understand.
I know they had to win some matches, but not against Kelly. It just didn't do any good.
Really bad segment, in my opinion. Like, can you not get Beth Phoenix and Natalya featured more prominently rather than a stupid little backstage segment? Really? Can you not have them come down to the ring?
That could be interesting if that happened, but
not congratulate them.
They've still got weeks to do this in, but sadly they don't do it tonight.
Nope. And then we get a Triple H movie trailer. I really couldn't care about this. I don't know why they aired this during the show. I don't understand.
I don't know, but again, for Triple H fans like me, it was good to see that he has a film coming out, what it's like, but then again, it finished and they moved on to the next segment.
Which was the main event, funnily enough. Now, if we had 3 segments there that really weren't very good, they really nearly put us to sleep, didn't they? Really.
Pretty much.
The main event itself was okay. I didn't think it was that. We had Cena and Sheamus on the same page versus Christian Henry. 2 people are on the same page. You wouldn't expect these two in a tag team anytime, would you? Really?
Not really. Not when like Mark Henry is getting Christian's match and all that. So again, it was a weird paired up match.
But the match was okay though. I didn't mind the match. There was good interaction between the wrestlers, I think. We went for 6.5 minutes. I think it could have got a bit more time. I was thinking throughout this whole match though, is Del Rio going to come out? Are we going to see Del Rio today? But we didn't, which I was a bit disappointed with, because I feel your WWE champion needs to be on your A show at some point.
The way the main event was going, I was thinking to make this more interesting or to make it have some kind of feeling going for the pay-per-view, either have Orton or at least Del Rio interfere, but we didn't get either one of them, so it was a disappointment for this match.
Yeah, and Christian, Cena gets the pin on Christian. So great way of making Christian look strong going into his match tomorrow, WWE. Great way, great thing to do there.
It should have ended with like an interruption. It would really have saved all 4 competitors.
I totally agree. This would have been better booked if there was an interference between Del Rio, and it would have suited the match, wouldn't it? An interference by Del Rio probably on Cena. I don't know. This wasn't the best. This wasn't the best of main events. It's still an okay match. It's just that I think it could have been booked a lot better than the faces winning again.
That's true. Just obviously not the best being leaving more.
But what we do get after the match, though, we get a backstage segment with Triple H and CM Punk, and Triple H announces that instead of Kevin Nash and CM Punk, it's going to be Triple H versus CM Punk. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I like that idea, but weren't you supposed to use Nash as like a first match, a build to the feud? And then all of a sudden it seems like they just had this last-minute decision to make it Triple H versus CM Punk. It's just a bit confusing for me.
Well, the way I see it, it's not really set in stone. You've still got another few more weeks. I think it could quite possibly go back to Kevin Nash versus Punk.
Who knows? It just seems like we made a last-minute swerve on this. Do you know what I mean?
It seems not really the best idea when you've got about 2 weeks left to pay-per-view.
Yeah, 3. I think it's 2, 3. I really don't know. I don't know. Right, so I just want to go onto overall thoughts here because I just want to say one thing. The first hour or so I thought was actually okay. The quality of the matches was good. And it really did show that having no brand split could really help the show. But at the same time, it didn't really now allow for any non-main event pay-per-view feuds to develop, did it? It just really didn't help the pay-per-view, I didn't feel.
No, I was overall with Raw. I'm not quite happy with it. It didn't really get me as intense as past weeks has. No really feeling going to the pay-per-view. And I'm just not really sure what to feel about it now. No,
it really was a complicated Raw because you'd expect with these kind of Raws they'd be entertaining. Even if they don't have pay-per-view, at least be entertaining. It wasn't. The first hour was okay, but then the last hour was just so bad. I really didn't like the three segments in that last hour. And the main event wasn't even that great either. We didn't even see the WWE champion.
The only thing we can hope now, as SmackDown's going to be a Raw and SmackDown show, they actually try and make the matches on SmackDown entertaining.
Yeah. So your overall thoughts on Raw then, the grade, just quickly?
Oh, grade. Probably get a C. I really can't give much feeling to it.
Well, in the first hour or so, I was thinking probably B minus maybe the way the matches and the segments went. But then the last hour happened, which kind of demoted it to me to a C minus or something because it really wasn't that good. Counting in the second hour, counting the whole show, you can't just concentrate on the main event. The whole show was a C minus. I feel, and it really didn't do that much to the pay-per-view. I didn't feel it. It just didn't seem right tonight, did it?
No. Again, we've had Raws picking up after the last couple of weeks, and this Raw, it just didn't give any feeling for me whatsoever.
No. But maybe SmackDown tomorrow night will. Make sure you guys check out our SmackDown review for live tomorrow night. Which will be uploaded tomorrow night, of course, Tuesday night. Same time as we do with this Raw review, but on the Tuesday. So make sure you get your comments down in that comment section below. And NJ, if you have any last words before we leave this review?
Well, you've heard our thoughts, our good and bad points of Raw. What are your thoughts? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below.
Yes, and we'll be sure to vlog again soon. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Goodbye.